Welcome to the Spy Stories. Today, we are about to dive deep into the intricate and compelling narrative that is the life of Aldrich Ames, an infamous operative within the ranks of the Central Intelligence Agency. Born amidst the chaos of the Second World War precisely on May 26, 1941, in the quiet, unassuming town of River Falls, found within the state of Wisconsin, the story of Aldrich Hazen Ames began. The tale of his life is not one of rags to riches or born a silver spoon, but rather a simple, unconventional journey from an ordinary life to one of high-stakes espionage and intrigue. His upbringing doesn't boast of extraordinary circumstances. He hailed from a family that comfortably sat in the middle of the social hierarchy, the middle class. His parents ensured he received a comprehensive education, providing him with a solid foundation for his future endeavors. The path he took, however, was anything but ordinary. His life story is a testament to the fact that sometimes the most extraordinary stories are hidden beneath the veil of the most ordinary beginnings. He came from a middle-class family and had a solid education. Ames began his career with the Central Intelligence Agency back in 1962, where he was initially assigned the role of a low-level analyst. It was a starting point, a foot in the door, a stepping stone towards a life of intrigue and covert operations. Over the years, this humble analyst diligently worked his way up, proving his mettle time and again. His journey wasn't easy, fraught with challenges and countless sleepless nights, but his commitment to serving his country remained steadfast. His rise was not meteoric, not flashy, but a steady and relentless climb that saw him ascend the ranks within the agency. Establishing himself as a stalwart figure, he eventually took on the significant role of a case officer. His responsibilities grew, and so did his influence, as he was entrusted with handling important operations that had nationwide, even global implications. Yet beneath this exemplary career, a sinister truth lurked, an unsuspected secret that was as dark as it was threatening. Little did anyone know that Ames had a dark secret. In 1985, Ames found himself surrounded by an air of suspicion, enveloped by the dark veil of espionage. His once ordinary life was about to take a drastic turn, as the Cold War was raging and the world was deeply divided. Suddenly, the Soviet Union, a superpower known for its shrewd and strategic prowess, set its sight on him. Their intelligence agency, the KGB, known for its ruthiness and cunning, clandestinely approached Ames. With an offer in hand, they presented him with an opportunity that was as dangerous as it was tempting. They offered him a substantial amount of money, a sum so large it could change his life forever. The trade-off, however, was the exchange of classified information that was meant to be kept away from prying eyes, secrets that held the power to disrupt the very balance of global politics. Ames, now in the midst of an ethical and moral quandary, found himself enticed by the enormity of the financial gain. The life of luxury and comfort it promised was too tempting to resist. Caught in a whirlwind of greed and ethics, Ames was standing at a crossroads. The choice he made would not only determine his future but also the fate of his country. And so Ames, enticed by the financial gain, agreed to become a double agent. Ames began leaking sensitive information to the Soviets, compromising numerous human assets and CIA operations. A man who once pledged his loyalty to the United States, a man whose job was to protect his nation, had unapologetically turned traitor. He had made the conscious decision to sell secrets that were not his to sell, to an enemy nation, all for the sake of personal gain. He put national security in jeopardy. We're talking about an individual who had access to some of the most classified information our nation possessed. And he didn't hesitate to use that access, not for the benefit of his country, but to serve his own selfish ends. His betrayal was not just an act of treason, but an act of violence. He didn't hold a gun, nor did he pull a trigger, but the lives that were lost, the operations that were compromised, and the damage he caused was nothing short of lethal. His actions resulted in the loss of invaluable intelligence, decimation of vital operations, and ultimately endangered the lives of countless people. The repercussions of his actions are still being felt to this day, and the scars it left on national security is a painful reminder of the treachery. Ames's actions were not just a betrayal of his nation, but a betrayal of the trust, the oath, the bond he had with his country and his fellow Americans. The extent of his betrayal was shocking. It wasn't until 1994 that Ames was finally arrested. His arrest came as a shock to the nation. A public figure known for his charisma and intelligence, now branded as a traitor. Charges of espionage were brought against him, a grave crime that could cost him his freedom. The news broke out, sending a wave of disbelief across the country. National headlines were dominated by the story, with everyone eager to follow the developments. The legal proceedings that ensued were no less than a spectacle, reminiscent of a high-stakes thriller. The courtrooms were packed to the brim, the atmosphere heavy with anticipation. The trial was a long-drawn affair, marked by dramatic disclosures and heated interrogations. It was a case that had captivated the attention of every citizen, turning them into spectators of a real-life drama featuring their very own government. As the evidence mounted, it became clear that Ames was not the man everyone thought he was. The jury held its breath as the verdict was read out. In the end, he was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. The sentence was a stark reminder of the grave consequences facing those who betray their nation. The tale of Aldrich Ames serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that betrayal poses and the criticality of national security. His story is a fascinating journey through the dark world of espionage, a tale marked by secrets, lies, and dire consequences. It is a study of one man's avarice and deception that resulted in one of the most infamous cases of espionage in American history. If your interest is piqued and you are intrigued to delve deeper into his life, I would recommend exploring a couple of comprehensive reference books. Circle of Treason is a meticulously researched account written by Sandra Grimes and Jean Vertefeuille, two former CIA officers who were instrumental in uncovering Ames's deception. This book provides a riveting insight into the complex web of deception that Ames spun around him. Another notable is Spy, the inside story of how the FBI's Robert Hanssen betrayed America, by David Wise. It offers a compelling narrative about Robert Hanssen, another spy who caused significant damage to America's national security, and whose story is eerily similar to Ames's. These resources provide a fascinating glimpse into the shadowy world of spies, their operations, and the devastating impacts of their betrayals. I hope these books will satisfy your curiosity and provide you with an enriching reading experience. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on which spy story you would like to know more about.